All right. We are back for day 16 of watching yourself on camera. But again, this time we're not watching ourselves on camera. Instead, we're just talking into audio recorder here on the phone. Talking on camera, having those video files get super large. My phone was getting a bit, overloaded with data files, and then I kind of thought about it. I'm like, does anyone really want to see, does anyone really want to see my face, as they're listening and watching? And maybe that's kind of missing the point, right? And missing the point of the whole thing, right? Remember, it's about it's about creating a situation where when you're watching yourself on camera, something that would look good in an interview, right? Let's say you were doing an interview, for a job, or let's say you were doing an interview for news, or you're doing a podcast or something, right? Can someone actually see your face and whatnot? That would be kind of cool. Alternatively, you can do things where you just excuse me. You just kind of have an alter ego or something, or you just kind of have some avatar that you show, and instead the main focus is on your voice and whatnot. And that might be the proper way to do it, going forward, right? Just focus on your voice instead of on, what you look like, right? Maybe that's the best plan of action for someone who's not a male model, right? Yeah. Anyways, today's been a pretty decent day. I went in and worked a little bit. It's nearing the end of the year, so people are kind of winding down for the year. But we were able to make some decent progress today. After that, I went and did some Christmas shopping. Went over to the mall. Went over to one of the local malls, and as expected, it was pretty busy. So it was pretty busy. And oh my gosh! All right, here, rant time. Starting a rant here. So in front of this mall, they have the traffic, or the way the roads are constructed. It's just the way the streets are constructed is so bad. It's so bad. They have 4-way stop signs, but they have 2 lanes. A 4-way stop sign, that's not a big deal. It's pretty normal. But a 4-way stop sign with 2 lanes each, dude, it's the freaking Wild West out there, bro. It's I don't know. It's crazy. I've seen I try to avoid it as much as possible, and I've still seen several accidents dang near happen, right? It's pretty, I don't think it's a great idea to have people trying to, self-manage themselves like that. It's decent if you do a 1-way stop sign, or not a 1-way, a single lane stop, single way 4-way stop, single lane 4-way stop. Having 2 lanes, it just gets really chaotic really fast. So that I don't like. But anyways, we went to the mall there, and I'm walking through, and I was looking for some shoes for my brother. I wanted to get a nice pair of brown leather shoes, something like that. But I say nice pair, but I wanted to try to keep not get anything too expensive, right? He's the type where he doesn't spend a bunch of money on himself. So I was like, I'll try to at least get him a little introduction into the brown shoe game, because he doesn't really have a pair of brown shoes. So I was like, I'll try to help him out and see if get a pair of shoes. It's a bit risky because you might not like them. I hope he would wear them, but who knows? If he doesn't like them, I got the receipt. I can always return them. Hopefully he likes them though. So that's the hope. Anyways, so I went and getting these shoes. I didn't want to spend too much money, because I didn't know if he really loved the gift or anything like that. So I'm going around. I didn't go into any specialty stores. Instead, I just tried to stay in more of the department stores, Macy's, Dillard's and JCPenney. Um, oh, excuse me, it's a little bit late. It's like 11 p.m. I'm ready to go to sleep. But yeah. Anyways, I went through all three stores, and battling my way through that traffic in the mall was a bit of a task. That's for sure. Tons of people and people just lose their mind during the holidays, man. Like they just are just like they just have like a group walking like super slow in front of you, or like people will just like stop in the middle of the walkway. It's like, dude, like people just like their sense of like space and like their I guess I don't know if empathy is the right word, but like they just have no sense of like if they're being a nuisance to others, right? I don't know. Maybe that's just me like being hypersensitive to other people, but like, dude, like if I'm standing in the way, I'm like, dude, let me get out of the way. Not like let me just freaking stand here, just obstructing traffic just cause, me want to stand here. 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 Anyways, I finally battled my way through all this traffic to get there. It is nice to see, people out and about, shopping and whatnot, trying to make Christmas special. I mean, Christmas is a hard one, shopping for people it's just hard. It's just a hard thing to do. Shopping, most things that people want would either be like super expensive, like, and it's like, dude, like I can't buy you a freaking car for Christmas, you know what I mean? Like, as nice as it would be to buy you a car, I'm not about to buy you a car for Christmas, right? But you don't want to get someone like nothing. Like, I could write a nice card or something like that for Christmas. Cards are nice, right? But like, you don't want it to be like, oh wow, you just like didn't want to spend any money, so you just like wrote a card or something like that. Even though it'd be pretty special and pretty unique, it's just like, really, that's it. So I was like, you know what? Let's try to get something that's practical, but not crazy expensive. Not trying to like just spend a ton of money just for the sake of spending a ton of money, but instead focus more on practicality. Yeah. So I went, and all the three stores ended up in JCPenney, and I found a pair of brown shoes on sale. Brown leather shoes. They had like white bottoms type of deal. They would do like a white sole. So I went with those. It said they were like $34 on sale, which is like a really good price. I got to the counter to check out. Don't even get me started on that. It was like a freaking 8 to 10 minute wait for checkout, because for whatever reason, the people in front of me just had like 20 items, and they're just like, the freaking cashiers are freaking slower than like they're just slow, bro. I don't know what was holding it up. I'm like, dude, how does it take this long to check somebody out, bro? Like, holy cow. Anyways, I get up there, and they hit the guy. He has the little scanner, beep. He scans the shoes. I think they came out, so I think they were like $44, before tax, like 50 something bucks, $52 after tax. I was like, it's a little bit more expensive, but you know what? If it's something that my brother would actually like and wear, it would probably be worth it. I mean, these are shoes I would wear, frankly. I ended up getting some Clark Desert boots, spare brown shoes earlier this year, and they're okay. They're a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe I just didn't get the right size. In retrospect, I probably just would have got like a pair of brown shoes, like from a place like Macy's or something like that, or JCPenney, right? You can get a pair of brown shoes for not that expensive, so that's probably what I would have done. But yeah, hopefully he likes them and whatnot, and they come in a nice box, so it should be decently easy to wrap them all. But yeah, the Christmas time, it's hard. It's good. It'd be nice if I had planned a little bit more earlier, right? And just had it planned out a bit more. You have more time to buy gifts or order gifts or things like that. You can save a bit of cash as well, if you order a gift offline versus buying it in store. But it is nice to be able to buy it in store. It's convenient, right? Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I reached the 10-minute mark, right? Monetization, right? Yeah, of course, because you make so much money off YouTube ads, right? You know. Anyways, I'll talk a little bit more just so it's not like that. Not like, oh, I want to get to 10 minutes, right? Or like, what I mean? Because it doesn't really matter if you get to 10 minutes or not, All that matters is that, you continue to do it. And I ended up taking a pretty huge break. Actually, like, I think it's been like close to a week since I filmed or recorded anything. And, it's surprisingly easy to miss a day. And like, once you miss a day, it's surprisingly easy to just like, yeah, I'll just miss the next day. And I'll just miss the next day too. And like, yeah, I want to film. It's late. It was like 10:30, and I was like, shoot. I was 10:30. I was about to literally hop right in the bed. I was feeling pretty decent. Let me just hop right in the bed, and then I was like, I haven't filmed yet. Like, fine, I'll film. So yeah, it's easy to break the habit. If only other habits were that easy to break, right? But yeah, it's really, establishing the habit is nice because it helps you get into a bit of a rhythm. So, I'll try to keep doing it more and more and more, and just continue to film more and or record more at least, and try to make it into a habit. All right, well, that's enough for today. Bye now.